Hello, everyone at the OMC Steering Committee meeting. My name is Nathan Pyle. I'm one of the co-chairs of the design team. I work at Sequanota Conference Center in Pennsylvania, and I'm a part of the Lutheran Outdoor Ministry Network. One of the roles that I see as being a co-chair for this is to make sure that we throw a great party.
Hi everyone, my name is Elise Bates-Russell and I am honored to join you today via video, and I serve as the Executive Director at Johnsonburg Camp and Retreat Center in New Jersey. One of the roles that we also think that we're going to need to play is to be a firefighter and to put out the fires as needed. Hopefully there aren't too many, but just to ensure that everybody has an amazing time. We wanted to give you an update on where we are with the planning for this event. We have 6 different denominations at this point who have supplied planning members to the team. That includes the Lutheran Outdoor Ministries, the United Methodists, the Episcopalian, the United Church of Christ, the American Baptists, and the Presbyterian Church Camp and Conference Association, of which I'm a part of. We unfortunately do not have the Church of the Brethren joining us at this time. They are in a reorganizational and assessment of priorities time and didn't feel that they could supply a member to this team. We wanted to share that because they had been meeting with us and intending to do that. What happened recently is we met with our planning team, all 11 of us, at Massanutten Springs in Virginia in December. We spent some time getting to know each other because, as we all know, this is a relational ministry, and we felt that it was important to know those that we would be working with together for 3 years. We also tried to lay out some expectations of a big event, bringing together our collective experiences at various conferences and learning opportunities. And then we started to dive into the theme. The theme being shift, we asked what would look and feel different about this conference. So just to give you a glimpse of what we are working on, while we do not have all of the answers at this time, we are excited to continue to challenge the notion of traditional keynotes, workshops, schedule. How can we still provide top-notch learning opportunities, connectivity time for people to understand what it means to work in a region close to other people with them, but maybe to be in a different denomination, and then all of the other aspects that make our current conferences so wonderful.
During our time, Elise had said that we spent a lot of time getting to know one another, and that was very important for us. This team is going to have to work as closely together as the steering committee does, and so there has to be a good level of trust. And so one of the things that we did with everyone was kind of talking about what are the shared concerns that we see within our own sites, but also within our networks, our professional associations. And so some of the shared concerns that we talked about really came down to 2 things. One being a lack of resources, whether that's a loss of camps, whether it's the declining churches, and are we sustainable? And so there was lots of concern around that. And then also the divisions that exist between us, both as within our denominations, those divisions, but also beyond our denominations with our ecumenical partners. And so how do we do that better? And then we also asked them, what are you most excited about? And there was unison and loud voices of, we're really excited about how do we partner better together? How do we create relationships? I think Elise would agree with me that it was great to see the energy develop over the 2 or 3 days that we were together down in Virginia. Just the way that people, we had to bring other people along because they haven't all been in the room there at the steering committee meetings. But the energy that got built up. And so this idea of how do we do this together? How do we share best practices together, be in the same place together? There was a lot of excitement about building partnerships together. And then also, obviously, that piece of leadership development. How do we continue to be really good at providing leadership development at these national conferences? And so we're off to doing that. And one of the areas that we also talked about as we kind of moved into, after spending all that time getting to know one another, we morphed into talking about areas of finance and budget planning. And so John, who is with you, and Kayla will bring more details about our time together. John really has all of the financial stuff. He's been working with a few of us that have been on the budget team to kind of prepare that for you. So there's going to be lots of decisions that need to be made in that area. And we ask you to kind of spend some serious time talking about that, because as we're at the beginning of this process, financial protections, checks and balances are going to be really important, so that as we move forward, there's going to be a significant amount of cash that would be moving through this for this kind of an event. And we want to make sure everybody's able to trust that it's being done well. And so John's got that information, and we'll go in depth about the budget and planning and decisions that you all need to make in this process for us.
Another piece of our time together that we are excited to share, if you haven't already heard, our conference will be held on Lake Junaluska in North Carolina. This is a United Methodist site, and they will be hosting us for that week in November. We have signed the contract and done our negotiating with them, and we are excited to experience the hospitality that we have been assured by many United Methodists that were sitting around the table that we will experience there in the mountains of North Carolina. We also hope that this location will serve as a positive regional location for this event. We understand that there are different denominations in different places around the nation, but this also seemed to be one of the sites that could host the variety of things that we're looking for, such as meeting spaces, the variety of housing that we're looking for, and then also the ability to host a larger exhibit hall.
And we really felt we wanted people to say wow about that, the place that we're going to, and we've gotten really good reports, and there's a great excitement within the committee about going to Junaluska. Along with setting up where we were going to be, we started to work on a detailed to-do list and timeline, and so Elise and I are working to kind of finalize that. But two of the areas that we see that we're probably going to need your assistance again will be in seeking out volunteers, and specifically two committees that we're thinking about right now. A kind of technology marketing team, a communication team that's going to help us to tell the story. And so looking for people that have those gifts, along with development. The reality of pulling all of these camps and professional directors together and board members is that there's a significant amount of there's a significant number of groups that would like to be a part of that. And so can we find some big major sponsors early in this process, and even explore some grant possibilities. And so in this area of development will be another area. So development and marketing will be the kind of the two that we're looking for. The other piece that I've spoken with John about, and he'll bring up with you, is that we're looking for your help in helping Elise and I at least understand how we're going to communicate with the steering committee the other 12 months of the year when you guys aren't together in session. And so we'd ask for you to kind of discuss that a little bit more, and to make sure that you provide us that feedback so that we know if decisions are needed to be made, or how we run things by this group when you don't meet, and the added challenge that there's turnover within this committee and within this group. But how do we go about communicating together so that we can really build a great event in November 10th to the 14th of 2019? Elise, are there any other things that we want to make sure that they know?
Sounds great, Nathan. John has an agenda, and in addition, some questions that Nathan and I put together about areas that we would feel comfortable if you all would take some time to discuss. Most of all, thank you so much for your support. We are truly sorry that neither of us is there with you, but we hope this has been helpful in just giving you a snapshot of where we stand, and we look forward to heading down the road towards our big event in 2019.
Looking forward to a great party. Uh-huh.